video of how I clean a Brigham pipe. For this cleaning, I'm just going to use my 1-dot brandy. It's a good pipe, just smoked it. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so to get started, we'll take our pipe. We can remove the stem here. And this works for pretty much all Brigham pipes, old and new. So if you have the aluminum tenon rather than the Delrin tenon, it'll work the same. So just quickly, I like to put a little bit of beeswax just on the larger portion of the tenon there. It just helps the stem kind of stay in there nice and easy, and it also helps kind of take it out without that horrible creaking noise that I get on some of my pipes. I don't like that noise really. So I put some beeswax there. It really helps. It also helps if your stem is really loose sitting in the pipe. It'll stick it up a bit and allow it to kind of stay in better, I guess. So we see here the rock maple filter, and it's just in there. You can see there's a bit of ash on there still. So what I'm going to do is just pop this guy out here, and you can kind of see on this one it's still a bit saturated. I let this rest for a couple hours before I did this video, but it's still a little bit wet. You can reuse these quite a few times. This one, I don't think I've actually thrown one out. I have about a box of them in circulation right now, and I just kind of wash them out. So what I'm going to do is just go rinse this under hot water really quickly, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I rinse this under really hot water. Sometimes what I'll do is if I have a couple pipes that need cleaning, is I'll take these things out, I'll put them in a coffee mug, and I'll pour boiling water on them just to kind of let them sit there and let the oils kind of soak out of them. For this one though, I've done that recently, so I'm not going to do it this time. I just rinsed it with hot water. And then what I'm going to do is take my high octane grain alcohol, Everclear, vodka, whatever, and put some on a pipe cleaner. And I just like cleaning out the pipe this way, or sorry, the filter this way a little bit, because that alcohol really helps get that nasty stuff out of there. And I mean, you can see already I rinsed it for a while, and this is already pulling a bunch of tar and goop out. And it also kind of seasons this thing so it gets that nasty old tar kind of taste out of it. So there we go. So now I have this kind of all nice and clean. I'll let this sit and dry out for about, I would say 24 hours before I would smoke it again, just to make sure it's really nice and dry. So I just kind of sit them up and let them kind of dry off in the side out of the way. And then we can get into cleaning the pipe. So the pipe here, on the Brigham systems, we have this big long tenon here. And what I like to do is just get another pipe cleaner here, or the other end, saturate it with grain alcohol, and just kind of go over on the inside of it. And now remember, I'm religiously obsessed with cleaning my pipes and keeping them clean. I've restored quite a few estate pipes, and it just makes me kind of shudder at the gunk that I find in there, and I don't like that in my pipes at all. So I probably clean more than most people would. You can kind of see the discoloration there, but that's just my preference. And I mean, you can clean as much as you want. If you don't like cleaning your pipes out and you just want to smoke them without the rock maple filter, and that's all up to you. Me personally, no way. It's pretty nasty stuff. So yeah, got quite a bit of gunk out of there. And then what I'll do is, after I've done cleaning both ends of the stem, I'll just take the pipe cleaner, kind of fold it like so it's a little bit thicker there. And then I'll again get some alcohol, and I'll put it back down where the rock maple filter sits, because it's a little wider diameter in there, and I want a little pressure on the pipe cleaner to kind of get that gunk out, that tarry residue or whatever it is. There we go. So then once I'm done giving the stem a clean, I'll wipe all the fluff from the pipe cleaners off, and you'd want to just give it a kind of a blow right through the stem there to get the fluff out of it. There we go. Because you don't want that getting sucked in your mouth on your first draw. Hey, that's pretty nasty. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways when it comes to cleaning the bowls. I personally, what I'll do is after I'm done and I've tapped out the ash, I'll kind of throw a finger in there and I'll kind of make sure the pipe's nice and coated with just ash all on the bottom all the way up. I find, especially on newer pipes, that it's a little easier building a cake when you do that because you get a nice distribution of ash, and then the next time you pack a bowl, you kind of have that starting layer of ash going. That's just my opinion. Again, your mileage may vary. If you have a different way of doing that, it's totally fine. I don't pay a lot of attention beyond that to the bowl itself. I make sure there's obviously no debris, no dottle in the bottom of it, no leftover tobacco. But I'm not sure if you can see down into this one. Not really, but this one's a really nice cake I have built up on it, and it's, yeah, just from doing what I do. So now when I look down into this end of the pipe here, I'm a little different that way. I'll get my old pipe cleaner there, get a tiny bit more alcohol on it, and I use the alcohol mostly just because it breaks down that tar really good, and it removes it really well. It also kind of cleans that acrid kind of taste you can get from tar building up and your pipe going sour. So this is kind of prevention. And so I'll stick it just down into there, right up into the draft hole, but not through the draft hole really, with just the wider end like that. I'm just trying to clean out any ash or anything that's been sucked down into there, because that's where the rock maple filter sits, and I think there's a little bit of space for ash and tar to kind of build up, as well as a little bit of moisture. So there we go. I've cleaned that out. As you can see, there's a little bit of ash on that. So then I'll get a pointy end of my pipe cleaner, and then this is when I'll kind of run it through the draft hole there and make sure the draft hole is nice and open and it's being kept clear and clean. Just kind of shove it through. Again, I wish I had a better light here so you could see the pipe cleaners coming through the draft hole. And there's just a little bit of stuff I've pushed out of the draft hole. And again, I like doing that as well. It keeps the draft hole open, wide. It doesn't allow it to close off with the buildup of cake or anything like that. You're keeping your draft hole at a nice size, or whatever size. This one's actually a lot smaller than my other Brigham draft holes. I don't mind that. Some of them I think are too small. I don't mind it. I open them up. I forget the measurement on the drill bit that I use, but this one seems to actually be really good as a smaller draft hole, so I keep it like that. Okay, so there we go. Pipe's all nice and cleaned out, and our stem's all nice and cleaned out. And what I'll do now is I'll just kind of put the stem back into the pipe. At this point, if it goes back in there and it's making that really nasty click noise, which it's not doing right now, I'll put some beeswax on there and just lightly thread it in there, nice back and forth, to get a coating all the way around the stem. I'll line up my stem here so it's nice and lined up. And there we go. And so what I'll do is I'll put this on the pipe rack standing up, and I'll let it again air for about 24 hours, and then I'll take the stem off again, put a new filter in, and it's good to go. I like letting them rest without the filter in there. I think there's a little more air and a little more airflow to allow it to dry out properly. Again, it's really up to you and how you want to do it. I just wanted to make this video because I haven't found a lot of videos on Brigham pipes specifically, which I found surprising because they're pretty all over the place here in Canada. So thought I would throw a video up there. There we go. So I'm just gonna go put this back on the rack. So there you go. That's how I clean a Brigham pipe. Again, if you have another method that's working well for you, by all means use that method. I found this has been working with all of my Brigham pipes and what I just showed you pretty consistently. I've got good cake buildup. My pipes are nice and clean. I don't get a lot of ghosting. I don't get a lot of nasty tar buildup in the shank and stuff like that. Like I was saying earlier, I've cleaned up a lot of estates, especially Brigham estates, where the person's either kept the filter, the rock maple filter in there, and never taken the stem out and cleaned it. And I mean, those things are nasty. And just cleaning up about 3 or 4 of those, and that was enough to disgust me to the point where I clean my pipes quite regularly after each smoke. Actually, I do exactly what I just showed you there. I find they stay clean, they burn great, taste great, and the key also, I find I've used vodka before. However, I'm having way better results with Everclear or high percentage or proof grain alcohol. It sweetens the pipe a little better, and it's way more aggressive when it comes to getting the tar off of things. Especially if I smoke, if I get tired and I don't have the supplies to clean my pipes or whatever, it blasts through that nasty stuff really quickly and makes quick work of cleaning the pipe. So your mileage may vary. That's how I do it. Works great for me. Can't complain. Thanks for watching, and see you guys again.